Straight to a penthouse, Miami Beach. Hey, yo, talk crazy on tweets. They don't want it cause I come to defeat. They don't want it.
Hi you guys, it's Gus Weathers and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. What is up, or what is going on? Literally from the title of this video, it is another story time. When I tell you, you guys have been eating the fuck up out of my YouTube videos, I can't even put it into words. Yes, I am. Like, y'all are literally making, like, y'all are forcing me to get into the bag of trauma, slut stories, abuse, neglect, and it's like a witch. It's like I'm bubbling it. I'm bubbling it because y'all are forcing me to tell them and talk about it, everything. Anywho, yes. Enough with the blabbing, because we're gonna get right into the story time. A few of you might have heard little bits and pieces of this off TikTok, but I have not told the full story in full on YouTube at all. So that's exactly what I wanted to do, because when I tell you this story it's crazy. But it's kind of one of those one stories where it's a part one, part two, all in one video. Y'all get like a double feature, but don't tell anyone I'm spoiling you, bitch, because they'll get pissy, literally. Back in 2019, I've already told you about all this. I literally was homeless. Literally got kicked out for being a little faggy and a baggy. But I was living with my best friend Zoe at the time. And I'm not like these other bitches, your other friends, because I posted a story time about Reagan on TikTok one time about how she fucked Tommy on my couch. And everyone was like, oh, well, my friend will let me get some dick at their house. Well, that's because you're not a good friend, baby. Like, I know they're a good friend. You're not. That's the point of the story. Like, yeah, I don't care. Even if Zoe would allow me to have sex at her house, I would never, and she probably would, I just would never do it because it's grimy, it's dirty, and she's literally letting me live under her roof, so I just think it's disrespectful. So, anywho, I never got dick under her roof or anything like that, so, you know, it all had to be somewhere else. Anywho, besides the point. I'm living with my best friend Zoe at the time. There was this guy in high school, we'll call him maybe like quarterback. Should we call him like the champion? Let's call him the quarterback. Or no, let's call him we'll call this one Bryce. Literally, we'll call this one Bryce. This guy, I've been fucking with him in high school. He was popular as fuck. He was good at football. He was good at wrestling like you guys. He was at the top of his class, right? Used to bully the fuck out of me, but I was gonna keep his name on hush. We'll always keep his name on hush because he was kind of a real ass bitch. Like, after he apologized, he was a real ass bitch. You guys, I don't care. Y'all done something wrong in the past. If you apologize and you genuinely change, why the fuck would I keep bringing up your errors in life? And you know, literally I forgave them. We ended up fucking. A lot of people are like, fuck your bullies. I really was like, come and fuck me. Like, literally fuck me. To my bullies, me personally, like, I don't know. I don't know. Someone was like, it's literally a big insecurity, baby. I know it's a big insecurity. Like, what? Why do you think I was with someone that was so abusive? Like, what? It's because I thought that that's what they loved me. Anywho, besides the point. 2019, I was hooking up with this guy. He was popular as fuck in high school, like literally like wrestling, football, the whole 9 yards. Literally, I had to drop him off at his wrestling things sometimes, his little practices. And like, I literally, you guys, I'm gay. Like, I am out the closet. I'm so gay, I can't even put it into words. So like, homeboy is like, just drop me off. And I'm like, at the front? Like, you don't want to walk? He's like, no, for what? I'm like, bitch, they're literally gonna say I'm sucking your dick. Like, are you kidding me? During high school, like, the way that people would like start shit with me, it's like, I could literally walk up to you and be like, Gus called you a fat bitch. And instead of you walking up to me and being like, hey, why is this person saying this? Or like, did you say this or X, Y, and Z? They literally are like, well, you're a fucking stupid little fucking bitch, little twink ass bitch. So I'm like, well, I didn't even say that, but like, thank you for letting me know how you really feel about me, bitch. Like, what? So I am at Zoe's one night, or actually it's during the day, probably like 11 a.m., something like that, 10 a.m. Honestly, I have no idea, you guys. It was kind of early in the morning. And this guy, we'll call him, what did we say again? We're literally going to call this one, like, we're going to call him Homeboy. I guess I'm always going to call them Homeboy. I have no idea, you guys, but I'm literally going to get my ass beat someday by saying these shit. So, yeah, because half the people that watch my story times are like, I know exactly who you're talking to. Congratulations. Keep your mouth shut or you're going to get mine fucking punched. Anywho, no name text me. He was one of those DLs. Like, he was not texting me all the time. This was like weekly, monthly, and I would freak out when he would text me. And you guys, I just got kicked out. Like, I'm not kidding you, probably 2 days prior. It was either I needed a dick in or I needed a razor going down the street. So, pick. Guess which one? I was getting some dick. So, he hits me up and he's like, hey, like, do you want to hang out? Like, are you down to like suck some dick. Like, I don't remember what he asked. I don't even know if he asked if we want to fuck or anything. I literally just think he asked if he wanted to hang out, which I knew for a fact he was not going to just hang out with me. It was not like that. Literally, it was all just like, I'm going to fuck you and leave. Like, it's so sad. Anywho, like, I asked him, I'm like, hey, can I take your car? Because I had no car. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to end up fucking in the car. I think fucking in the car with her not in it is less disrespectful than me fucking in the house. Like, if I don't have a car, bitch, and I don't have a car, if I don't have a car, I don't have a house, and this person doesn't have a house or a car, where the fuck am I supposed to do it, bitch? Literally, where? You let me know. So luckily, my bitch, she literally let me use her car, but I was not doing stuff with him in his car or anything like that. I just took her car to literally go drive and meet up with him. He wanted to meet up with me at this church down the street. You're hearing correctly, at a church.
Should we say prayers first? Could you imagine? What a bunch of losers.
Wait, why did I do this? Isn't it the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit? Oh, okay, yeah, I did it right. Anywho, literally, because it was at a church. So I get out of this car, like a Nissan something, right? Like a gray Nissan. I get out of this car, I hop in his truck. It's like a broken down, oh, it's just a truck, you guys. Literally, it's just a truck. I'm not going into detail. It's a truck. I hop in this truck, and it doesn't even have a fucking radio. It's like, it reminds you, it does not have a fucking radio. Okay? It's a fucking, like, a boombox. Like a fucking, I'm not kidding you, probably a Beats fucking pill, I think, is sitting in the middle of this fucking console. Right? Right. So anywho, he starts driving. He's like, how are you? Like, I've seen your story, because you guys, are you kidding me? Like, I got kicked out. Like, if you think I was not crying on my story every fucking day, you are smoking crack. Because I was letting everyone know that my life fucking sucks at this time, right? Because I was gonna let people know I was gonna fucking kill myself. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Let me get my attention points before I leave and clock out. So, he says that, like, you know, and I'm like, oh my god. Because you guys, Zoe's my best friend, but I can only talk to her about a certain thing so many times. You know what I mean? Like, after a certain point, I know this bitch is like, shut the fuck up. She's not doing it, but like, I feel bad because I'm like, girl, she does not care about my sob story over 20,000 times. She listens, she cares, but besides the point, I felt like a burden, right? So I was like, oh my god, this is the first time I actually get to talk to someone about my feelings? Are you fucking kidding me? So, you know, I'm sitting there like almost fucking tearing up because I'm like, oh, the shit that I've had to go through these past like few fucking days, and I'm like not kidding you, like literally wiping my tear, and I look. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because I fucking hear the zip. Like, literally the zip to his fucking jeans. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh. Has his dick out. Dick out. Boner and all. I'm like, is my trauma turning you on? Question mark. So, anywho, I'm a real bitch. So, real bitches do real things. And I did my thing, literally. Sucked his dick. Started, you know, giving him head. Sorry for the younger audience. Click out. Literally. This is for 18 plus only, literally. I do it on my YouTube videos anyway, so I'm not your fucking parent, literally. Anywho, I, literally, while we're at the stop sign, like, I'm not kidding you, that it was the first stop sign, and he's like, like, I literally felt like the bitch off fucking Scary Movie, like, anywho, giving him head, all this shit, you guys, we're going down the street. So, while we're going down the street and all that stuff, you guys, this is where the story gets a little bumpy. So, he has his hands on the wheel, right? He takes off this hand and only has one hand on the wheel, okay? So remind you, you drive with this leg, okay? One leg is pressing the gas, the other one is just chilling. It never touches anything. So homeboy lifts up his leg off the gas and puts his other leg on the gas, grabs his leg, and lifts up. Like so, like this, driving. He literally is driving like this. I'm being so dead ass like this, right? So I'm like, oh, because at that moment I knew exactly what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to eat that shit like the Last Supper. Like, he really said, never fucked Wayne, never fucked Drake, and if he did, they would eat his ass like a cupcake, and did. But, you guys, I forgot to tell you, I just moved in with Zoe, so the first thing we did is went and got our nails done. So I had my nails done. Like this long. White. White nails, right? So I'm doing my thing, the triple whammy, you know. I go to help myself, and he's like, oh fuck, and I'm like, oh shit, duh, because I forgot I have a fingernail, like, on my fingernail. I literally grab my fingernail and I rip it off. Oh, picking my bestie up from her dick appointment. Oh. And I got it done the day before. For everyone that has never got their nails done professionally, it don't work like that. It hurts. It hurts very bad. I bet you it took off my real fingernail. Like, I bet you it was just, I probably got fucking coli. Dead ass. Dead ass. Let's just say, got my shit done, literally. Got back to that parking lot, literally, and it's so crazy because I'm like, I really think that he literally, like, got out of the parking lot, went like that, parking lot. Like, I really think he just went into a fucking circle, but I'm just that fucking glad. Anywho, we get back to the church, literally the church parking lot. Right when we get into the church parking lot, I'm not kidding you guys, while we pull in, he literally grabs his phone. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Literally, I'll be there in just a minute. I'm having to, like, drop off Gus and blah, 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 blah. And I told you guys at the beginning of the story, he didn't have a radio. It was a boombox, like a Beats pill. And if you get a call while you're listening to an over speaker, like a speaker, Beats pill or something like that, even headphones, your music is gonna pause and it's gonna like call you, like, you know what I mean? It's gonna tell you that it's ringing. So I knew for a fact he was lying off of his ass, but like I wanted to leave anyway because like I'm not one of those girls that like wants to stay and cuddle up. Like, I'd rather be the one that leaves first. That's just me. I have no idea. So I'm like, okay, I'm literally a fucking whore. Like, what? So I start heading back to Zoe's, right? So how I told you guys, this is a part 1, part 2. You get a double feature in one, a story time for a double feature, right? So the next day, or probably a day later or 2 days later or something like that, same week, I get a call. I told you all I've been kicked out. I lost all my friends at this time, you guys. I literally lost all my friends. Like, I had so many friends I can't even put it into words. And once I got kicked out, I had 0. No one wanted to talk to me. No one wanted to hang out with me. No, nothing, right? So I can only hang out with Zoe so much. I can only talk to Zoe so much before she literally is like, bitch, like, you're annoying me. Like, I wouldn't even want to be with me that much. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to spend that much time with someone. So I'm like, I just wish someone would want to hang out with me. So I'm sitting at the kitchen bar in the house, sitting at the bar at the kitchen, and I get a call. I get a call from a random number. We'll call this bitch Chelsea. We'll call this bitch Chelsea. So I get a FaceTime call from Chelsea and I answer it. I'm like, hi, like, hello. And she's like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? Like, I've seen everything that happened to you. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, would you want to hang out? Like, do you really, like, would you want to hang out? Like, chill or anything like that? And I was like, oh, like, you know, because you guys, I was shocked that anyone would even want to fucking hang out with me because quite literally I was the biggest fucking loser in like under 24 hours. So I was like, you actually like want to hang out with me? You know, I'm sitting there like, oh my God, for what? Like, what? You'll see. So I go talk to Zoe. I'm like, oh my God, Chelsea wants to hang out with me. Like, someone actually wants to fucking hang out with me. I know, I'm watching this back and I'm like, it's so embarrassing. Anywho, she's like, oh my God, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, thank God your loser ass finally has a fucking friend. No, anywho. So we're getting ready. Literally, I get in the car, head over to this Chelsea bitch's house, right? So I walk in, literally, I walk through the front door, whatever. I walk through her door, literally, she's opening the door, whatever. We go to her bedroom, and I'm not kidding you guys. I literally walk into her bedroom, and she, like, shuts the door, and she has tears going down her eyes. Like, she is bawling her eyes out. Like, you can tell she was just crying. And remind you guys, I was struggling with probably the most suicidal and, like, depressed I was in my whole entire life. Right? All I did was cry. So I was like, oh my God, this is the first time I'm actually gonna not cry. No, when I got there and I was like, you know, like, bitch, you could have told me we were gonna, like, hang out and cry, because trust me, I could have put on my crying pants, like, the fuck. And so, you know, I could be like, you know, I lost my, literally, I don't talk to my parents anymore. I don't have a fucking house anymore. This, blah, blah, like, I could have really sucked my dick. But I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with you, boo? Tell me. And she's like, I'm gonna make a lot of people mad, guys. Like, I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. And I was like, oh, okay, like, what? And she's like, I fucked someone. The guy that Reagan fucked, like, after she fucked him, I was honestly just laughing at her, because every time I ever called him hot or anything like that, she was like, you're literally gonna get AIDS. Like, he's so gross. He literally has fucking STDs and blah, blah, blah. So she literally went and let him raw dog her pussy at a party. So it's kind of like, at the end of the day, like, I might not be what every boy wants, but I am sure as hell not what every boy has fucking had. Okay? So, you know, they're thinking like, I fucked him. It's like, babe. Ew, like, bitch, I like dirty dick. So, like, what's your excuse? Ew. So, anywho, the guy that Reagan fucked, that's who I was thinking, because everyone had sex with him. Everyone knew I had a crush on him too. Like, everyone. I told everyone I had a crush on him all the time. And then people literally would fuck him and would tell me about it because they knew how much I was in love with him and everything like that. But I was like, girl, I don't give a fuck. He's dirty. Like, he really was so dirty, you guys. Like, community dick. So I'm like, okay. And we're gonna call him Chad or something like that, just something short. I'm like, okay, you fuck Chad. Like, girl, nobody's gagging. Like, I don't care. And she, like, literally shakes her head and she goes, and remind you, or whoever the fuck I just said, I started messing around with him. Oh, wait, no, okay, yeah, so the dirty guy, Chad or whatever, I started messing around with him in, like, 8th grade, right? And we would, like, get with each other, off with each other, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then we'd have beef or whatever, right? So my junior year, he literally robbed me. So then I was like, okay, like, I really need to cut him off and I need to stop hanging out with him, right? So that's when I started messing around with old boy. So when I started messing around with old boy, I was like, I can't believe I ever even thought Chad was fucking hot. Like, you're way hotter and you're, like, way better. Like, you're way hotter. I can't even put it into words. And he literally looked at me and he was like, and I'm a lot better. And I was like, oh my god, like, my pussy is so fucking wet. So I'm like, okay, girl, you fuck Chad. Ain't nobody gagging. And she shakes her head crying and she's like, mm-mm. So at that moment, I knew this fucking bitch slept with old boy. The one I was in love with. You guys, like, I genuinely fell in love with this guy. Like, Chad, whatever the fuck I said his name was, that one, I didn't give a fuck about him. The only reason I liked him is because he was hot as fuck and he had some shit. Like, he was fucking hot as fuck and he liked hanging out with me, literally. So that's literally the only reason. Even if he was using me, I don't give a fuck, because at least someone was hanging out with me and it was a guy and he was hot. So I am like, oh, I'm not even, like, I'm not crying or anything like that. And, like, the tears are literally building up in my face because I'm like, okay, I lost my family, I lost my house, but at least I still have this guy to, like, fuck around with and fucking distract myself. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm, like, you know, crying. And I'm like, when did you do it? She's like, oh, I did it, blah, blah, blah. Guess what day, you guys? The day that I did this shit with him. So after I sucked homeboy's dick, he literally went and fucked a bitch. Like, literally went and fucked a bitch. He was like, I need to get this gay out of me now. Went and fucked her. So I felt so disgusting. Like, when I tell you disgusting, I felt so fucking gross. I literally wanted to, like, die. Literally. So I'm bawling, my eyes out, crying. This bitch looks at me and she goes, oh, and by the way, I only wanted to tell you and, like, not lie to you because I know all your other friends do it behind your back and just lie about it. And I'm like, Reagan tease, but, like, thank you. Like, what? Like, thank you, I fucking guess? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? So I get up. I start gagging. I'm about to throw up. That's how fucking sick I am. Like, I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm fucking gagging.
Editing me. I love throughout this whole video, I literally was like, nobody's gagging, the fuck. And that bitch really gagged me. Like, I was really fucking gagged. Quite literally. She said nobody's gagged. Now what? Gagged in your trash can, bitch.
So I call Zoe. Remind you, this took like only 10 minutes. She's not even halfway to her fucking boyfriend's house. She's like, thank God I get to go hang out with my boyfriend and not worry about what Gus is doing. No, I literally had to call her and be like, hey, can you come back because something happened? So then Zoe literally came and picked me back up. I literally ran out this bitch's house, got in Zoe's car, was throwing up outside of Zoe's car window because of how much I was crying. Like, I literally was having such a bad mental breakdown, I couldn't even put it into words. We got to Gus's house, Zoe's boyfriend's, and I literally FaceTimed Daisy while Zoe went inside, and I was bawling to her, crying to her about everything, literally about every single little thing. And we get back to Zoe's house or whatever, and I guess this stupid bitch, because I posted on Instagram and I said, at the end of the day, I put a pig emoji and a fan. And this bitch is like, oh, he's on his Instagram calling me a pig and a fan and this and blah, 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 blah. And I literally was like, I like literally unblocked her number and called her and was like, bitch. unless you're Porky the fucking Pig, or you fucking put a noose around your neck and you're fucking hanging off the fucking ceiling fan. If the shoe fits, it fucking fits, bitch. I literally don't know what to tell you, bitch. I posted an emoji and something. Anywho, she literally showed up at this girl's house, literally trying to beat me the fuck up. I was like, but literally no one got touched. I was like, oh my fucking God. It was scary as fuck. Anywho, I was like, what? But literally homegirl said she was just doing it because I was a bully or something like that, as if all that wasn't me getting bullied. But I guess that's beside the point because it's pie in my face or something. I have no fucking idea. The only reason I got through all of this literally because of Zoe, because Zoe literally had to explain to me at the end of the day, this guy that was telling me that he loved me, he wanted to be with me and this and blah blah blah, I still wasn't letting him hit it raw. Yet all he has to do is go over to some girl's house and she's gonna say fuck my pussy raw. So she was like, that's what you gotta remind yourself, is at the end of the day, you aren't like these bitches. You aren't some dirty little slut at a party. And that made me feel better about myself, because I really was like, at the end of the day, you know, I am not a slut. Like, y'all, from the story times, trust me, I seem like a fucking slut. But I'm not a slut. Like, I had so much feelings for this guy. And trust me, I don't think she did. I don't think he did. It was just a fucking suck, which was crazy because I guess it was just a fucking suck to him, to me, when in reality I fucking loved him and I wanted to be with him. I was like, why don't you fucking love me anymore? Anywho, stupid bitch ended up texting Zoe, which reminds you, Zoe rides behind me like no other. Like, I wish people would realize that. Like, I've had my ex-boyfriend, like, I've had men, grown men, you guys, literally. She has punched my dad. Like, grown man, like, I've had people that are like, oh, I'll call my fucking sister up. I'm like, oh, let's go sister for sister, bitch. Let's go sister for sister. And I'll call fucking Zoe up. Bitch, you wanna go sister for sister? She will beat your ass and your sister's ass. Like, and over me, I can't even put into words, you guys. I have had grown men yell at me and point at me, literally point at me, and say, this one. And Zoe has literally grabbed their hand like this and like literally stood in front of me, pointed it at her, like made sure the finger was pointing at her that was pointed at me, and she goes, I speak for the fucking both of us. Just when I tell you I was gagged, the grown man she was yelling at was fucking gagged, like gagged. So I ain't tripping when someone texts me being a bitch to my best friend, because it doesn't even matter if I'm in the wrong, vice versa. We're gonna ride behind each other till the wheels fucking come off, and then we're literally gonna crawl, walk if we have to. Don't give a fuck. I'd rather be with her in a fucking broken down Cadillac than a fucking brand new fucking, you know what I mean, with a fucking Prince. Like, that's my bitch forever. So this stupid bitch ends up texting my best friend Zoe and is like, you need to tell Gus to stop talking about me. She texts her and she's like, I don't control Gus or anything he does. So, maybe if you don't want people talking about you, don't be a fucking slut. And she was like, okay, lol. Ain't nobody, because nobody will ever go around with Zoe, that's for sure. Literally one time she got jumped by two bitches and she beat both of their asses, literally. And still to this day, there's some people that will be like, oh, she didn't, blah, blah, blah. The difference is, Zoe would still fight both of the bitches at the same time, would do a rematch, but even while they were there, they wouldn't do a rematch. That's the thing, talking about they won. Zoe was like, rematch, let's go, and they were both sitting there like, I'm standing right here, I'm standing right here. Besides the point, my bitch gets down. So, after that, oh, I kind of outed him. Like, kind of, technically, a little bit. Like, literally, when that girl told me that she fucked him, I don't know if she knew I fucked him. I think she just knew I had a crush on him. But like, bitch, I was not gonna let her know that I was crying over someone that I had a crush on. Like, bitch, no, I was fucking him. He was eating my pussy. So yeah, he's gay as fuck. And then he texted me getting all cocky and was like, the fuck? Like, why are you telling people I'm gay? I'm like, why the fuck are you fucking people on the same day you fucked me, bitch? That's fucking gross, that's grimy, and that's nasty. I'm a human being. And then I think literally like a week later, like I'm not kidding you guys, a week later, a girl posted on her story and he was in the background with his arm around another bitch. And then they started dating. Literally. And then I posted to my story crying about him. Because like, what? Tell me why his girlfriend, the new girl he was talking to, slid up on the story of me crying. And was like, oh, you're better than these boys, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ooh, that's it's not, because I would hope I'm better than the one that's literally having sex with you right now, because he was literally eating my buzz last week. And he likes fingers up his butt. Ah! No, anywho, you guys, so I know that was a little bit of a kind of a longer story time or something like that, you guys. It was like 20 something, but I had to get on here and tell you guys another story time because you guys have been eating the fucking stories up like no fucking tomorrow. I can't even put it into words. So one thing about you guys is you all have been liking the videos, watching the videos, sharing the videos, subscribing. So like y'all are only gonna get more content and more content and more content. So yeah, I truly do, from the bottom of my heart, you guys. I love you guys so much. I can't even fucking put it into words, literally. I love every single one of you so much. Thank you for the support from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for commenting, everything. Don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and all that stuff, you guys. And thank you for joining another story time, you guys. I love you so, so much. And till next time, bye.